Hello and welcome back. It is Gannon and I's second game of the day, one back-to-back. Today is going to be between Sandburg
Yep.
Eagles and the Highland Park Giants. I only got to watch the Highland Park Giants because I announced this Nazareth Highland Park Giant game, and they actually lost that game in overtime. They fought all the way to the end, obvious with the overtime, but they
Yep.
fought all the way to the end, and and unfortunately COVID case struck the Nazareth Roadrunners, and they had to drop out. Therefore, Highland Park moved up, and thank goodness it wasn't a blowout, so it's not going to be like a completely lower level team than Nazareth. They went to overtime. They're quite even, so it's going to be interesting to see how they play. And then Sandburg was scheduled to play arguably the second best team in the tournament. Might be Lions' title or Bolingbrook's title after the game we just watched. But, Riverside Brookfield 9-1, averaging 73 points per game. They were supposed to play, but then they got struck with COVID and had to drop out before. And this Sandburg team actually played Christ the King. Thank you for coming out, Christ the King, and your basketball team to play and give us more basketball to watch. We did not cover that one because it was a scrimmage when we were focusing on the other games. But, unfortunately, Sandburg lost. Close game again, 2-point game there, but Sandburg lost as our starting lineup commences. The starting lineup here for the Giants is going to be 12-11, which is going to be Gabe Splitz and Rocky Sagel. And then as well as their main ball handler, Sam Ron, who played nearly the whole game, as well as number 5, Jesse Burston. And finally, number 21, Evan Bloom. And then coming out for the Sandburg Eagles is going to be number 11, James White. Number 21, it looks like, Ty Bims, as well as it looks like number 32, Chris Nikwo. Number 3, Walter Davis. And finally, before we start commentating on the game, it looks like on the wing there, number 2, Ryan McPollen.
Yeah,
So
it looks like.
Go ahead.
I would say Highland Park is coming out with a 2-1-2 to start the game. I think it's a 2-1-2.
Looking like it as they trap in the corner. As they trap Ryan McPollen in the corner. Currently with the ball is Ty Bims. Fakes into the face of Samron. Then McPollen shoots a 3. Misses. Offensive rebound by Burston. Back to Burston from Splitz. Back to Splitz. Over to Ron.
And it looks like Sandburg is coming off with a 1-3-1.
Looks like it. They switch positions there. Right here, Burston with the ball. Picked by Bloom. Over to Ron. Ron with the ball. Into the corner for Bloom. Pump fake. Back to Ron. Not doing much here. Looks like they're trying to run a play, but the zone is not allowing any room. No real, urgency here by the Highland Park Giants. Granted, it's a 0-0 game at the first, so
Yeah,
you don't
we'll
really
see,
need
but
any urgency.
looks like both these teams
Corner
are.
3 here by Rocky Sagel.
Wow,
Way off.
Nothing.
Our side corner has been really unlucky for these teams, as that's the 3rd air ball from the corner 3 from our side. Here's another attempt.
And
air ball again.
No, I think that hit the
Hit the
bottom part. They hit the
backboard.
bottom part of the backboard, so it was like
Close enough.
close enough.
Didn't hit rim there. So
Yeah, a couple poor possessions.
so Sam Ron bringing up the ball.
Star player for the Highland Park Giants. See what he can do this game.
Gives it off to Sagel. Gives it up to Splitz. Over to Ron. They like to pass around the 3-point line and try and control the pace a lot like Conant did. Corner 3 here. Bloom
Oh my
off the
God.
side of the backboard.
What
These
is going
teams
on?
are not the best shooting so far, and today not the best shooting from any team.
Wow.
We've commentated.
I mean, hopefully the rest of the game isn't like this. Let's
Yes.
get some buckets.
McPollen to Davis. Davis in
That was
the
a good
bins.
find.
Good find. Oh, not the finish.
And
the 3 F's of basketball. Find, feed, finish. The first 2, not the
Is
final
that going to
one.
be your is there your catchphrase now?
That's
the
my
3 F's,
catchphrase.
the find, feed, finish.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's pretty good, pretty original. Might be already taken, but Sam Ron here with the jumper, a little too strong. Bring up the ball is McPollen. McPollen back with it. Steal here by into McPollen and gets
there
it
we go.
layup. Looking for contact there, but doesn't matter without getting the foul call. Is he able to still make it? give it over to Bims. Bims gives it up to Nwoku, or Nwoke. Up again, Sagel, left-handed scoop this time, able to get it once again, finding contact. Once again, no call. I think clean. Anyways.
And again, a 4-0 start for Highland Park. Again, one of the keys in this tournament is points off the transition, and those first 4 points coming on transition.
Points here, not technically
and
transition.
And one, wow.
And one there. You know, good play there. You know, this scoop layup is really effective, and a lot of high school players, you know, who aren't starting where they want to be, you know, should really develop that, because obviously these kids are getting taller and longer, and they're going to be able to block you if you go up like this. You got to be able to scoop it and have the touch to make it consistent.
And not only with a scoop, but again, when the defender's coming down, they're just going to slap your arm.
Exactly. So then that causes a foul, and one there as he converts it to make it a 4-3 game with roughly 5 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Sam Ron here, back up to the splits, looking to the corner. Bloom has it, short corner, pump fake, drives with his right, back out, skip pass kind of. Missed opportunity there, missed three, I should say, by Splits. Good contest there by Bloom, but not enough. Ty Bims with the points to bring the lead in favor of the Sandburg Eagles.
And it looks like both teams have recovered from that very shaky start. Again, attacking the basket and getting points in transition.
This game has been higher scoring as it looks like Sagel wanted the ball from Ron as he just gave it up to Splits. As Sagel wants it, gets it from Ron. Looking to run a play. Back up to Splits. Ron on our side.
And it looks like offensively Highland Park is just kind of rotating players in the middle, looking to get that guy kind of playing a 1-3-1 offensively.
Yeah, one thing I've noticed with Highland Park, I also noticed with Wheaton Norris, weird shot there as he didn't go up with his left, went up with his right. Walter Davis here, wide open layup, able to make it a 7-4 game here. Good play by him and good defensive play there. But they don't like to do a lot of, you know, like we saw with the Conant and Lions game, there was a lot of off-ball movement. These two teams, not the most off-ball movement. I mean, there is some here, but it's not like consistent
Yeah,
movement.
just kind of guys rotating around, and they're good. Again, for the main guy, Rem, looking for him to create.
Going over to Splits, into Ron, who comes out to the three-point line. Fake drive, back out to Splits. Wants Sagel to get closer. He does.
Yeah, it looks like a very slow-paced offense. They're kind of just looking for low openings, get that middle touch.
Sam Ron with the aggressive.
And that was a great find in the corner.
Pass. No finish from there from Evan Bloom with the corner three. Just barely hitting rim. Great drive there. What a job by Ryan McPollin. Good job by him. He did a good job. He did a good job. And you know, with the fast break points as you were talking about, is checking in, comes in number 10, Brandon Rieger, as well as it looks like number 15, that's going to be Max Williamson.
And I think one of the main things Highland Park, what they're going to be talking about in the huddle is their transition defense, because they're getting the ball and they're kind of, even when they don't have an advantage, they're pretty easy just being able to get right into the paint and converting wide open layups. So that's going to be a main thing to look at we see these next couple of possessions. And again, as I was talking, transition offense is going to be key in these games, and all the field goals so far have occurred in transition. So, and also again with Highland Park, their offense, not a whole lot of creativity. They're not really running a lot of set plays. It's just kind of a simple 1-3-1 guy switching off in the middle. So interesting what we see them do.
Especially, you know, it's been really interesting to watch all these different half-court offenses. That's one of the more fun parts about high school basketball, is that there's so many different ways you can run, you know, an offense. And in high school, they really take advantage of any way you really want it, whether it's pick and roll heavy, whether here where it's ISO heavy, or whether it's very cutter and off-ball movement heavy, or spot-up shooter heavy like Conan, or it's centered around one heliocentric star like Johnson was the last game, Kamari Johnson. Or Tavari, if I pronounce his name correctly. Here we are. Doesn't look like any changes on the Eagles' side of things, and as I said, I already, you know, coming in is Brandon Rieger as well as Max Williamson. Going out is Bloom as well as Burston, are the two that are leaving the Highland Park's floor and going to the bench. Ron with the ball. Pump fake, or pass fake, I should say. Back up to him. Back to the wing, into the corner, probably an attempt here. Nope, good closeout there. Got his hand in his face there. Good job by number 32, Christian Quo. Up top, Ron. Back to the right wing. Back to the corner. Back to the wing. A lot of passing around the perimeter for this Giants team.
But yeah, really not. They're kind of passing, but without a purpose. They're passing, but they're not really creating anything right now.
That's one of my major criticisms with the Highland Park offense. If you were listening yesterday, is I was just like, there's no real action, there's no real purpose, there's not a lot of plays. Because right now it would be typically where you're trying to run a play. I mean, obviously, as soon as I say that, they call for a play, but they haven't been doing it consistently. They're just kind of passing to see if they can catch them off guard for a three with a little contest. Because none of them are going to be open if you're passing like that. Bit of an illegal screen there by number 15.
And Sandburg's also, again, they're not really having to do a whole lot defensively except just kind of, make sure that they don't just get, just have a complete defensive breakdown. And hey, passing around to deep three, but, that's a defensive possession you like if you're Sandburg.
For sure. You allowed them to waste the clock. You still have the lead, and you showed that you guys can really lock them up the majority of the time unless it's contested. Just a kind of a lucky contested three. Here's another three attempt here. No good. A little bit short for number 11. That's James White bringing up the ball.
And so far for Highland Park, Rock Siegel has all 7 of their points. Rock Siegel has all 7 of their points so far. And is he going to make it 10?
No, he is not. Oh, good save there by Walter Davis. Walter Davis with the ball. Getting kind of trapped. Not really. Splits a double team. Back out. Over there to Ty Bims on that right side wing corner area. Driving right. Stops. Almost a steal there. Hard back down. Going to call it a charge. Hard back down by Quo. There we go. Thanks, Zach, for fixing my volume. Seems I was a little bit quiet, but here we are with Ron bringing it up. End of the first quarter.
And is there a possibility? So far, my 3 games commentating, they've all been blowouts by halftime. So quite possibly you can get a close game today.
Sagel here. No good from him. Back up again is Ron. No good again. Trying to get the offensive rebound. Does not in time.
And it does not count.
The ref on our side, very emphatic on that.
He made sure. He was
everyone in the gym knew that was not a legal shot for Sam Ron to take. If it would have made, it wouldn't have counted. Low-scoring game again. It is 9-7, 2-point lead for the Sandburg Eagles.
Yeah. What are your some takeaways from Sandburg so far?
Sandburg, since I haven't watched them, I like their defense so far. The 1-3-1 works, especially with the size of Nquo in the deep center, trying to really cut off those baseline cuts. Because if they were doing any cuts last time I saw Highland Park, it was baseline cuts, and that 1-3-1 really breaks it down. And then also it doesn't really allow that much for. I really like the 1-3-1 zone. It's really effective. You keep them past the volleyball line with that one at the top, and then you got the wings covered, and then you could trap in the corner if need be. And then you got someone in the center to block it up. So it's been a really good defensive strategy. One of my favorite zones, the 1-3-1 is, and they've been really effective at using it so far, hence by the low-scoring game. We hope it turns up a notch, but, a defensive grind battle is also fun if it's good fundamental defense like it is there.
Yeah, both half-court offenses haven't really been able to produce a lot, and I know with Sandburg, their shooting has not been good so far. So, again, they're looking to get the ball out in transition and attack the rim. A lot of athleticism on this team. So that's really where their offense has been coming from, and it's interesting to see if Highland Park does anything different offensively and goes away.
A near complete change here from Sandburg. You're bringing in number 5, David Vargas. You're also bringing in, at that one spot down low, is number 1, Mike Perkins. The only one who stays out there is Ryan McPollin, and then as well as this Highland Park offense does one of their favorite things, which is pass around the three-point line. Over to the corner, mishandles it so he doesn't get the 3 opportunity. Back out, too high for Sagel as he tries to save it over and back. Finally get to finish the lineup that is out for Sandburg, as it looks like number 23 is out there. That'd be Shuka. there. And then finally, number 33, that's James Prendergast. James Prendergast
You
at
got
the
that
center
right.
position. Got that right. Maybe not the majority of them, but I got that one right.
Yeah, but again, another offensive possession by Highland Park that kind of just leaves, just really not a lot happening. And looks like they're playing a little bit more pressure here for the 1-2-2.
For sure. Well, yeah, the 1-2-2, that's very aggressive there. You know what you don't want to do on a 1-2-2 is that pass back, because just like that, it gets stolen. Transition here, Sagel with the opportunity, misses it. Rebound there by Shurka. Good tip again by Ron, but still able to reach its target in Vargas.
Yeah, their 1-2-2 has been super active defensively. It's been getting a lot of tip shots, or not tip shots, tip passes, and has really stunted any really offense from Sandburg so far.
There we go. Stays here. As well as it looks like it's giving Sandburg a lot of opportunities they haven't been able to convert on yet. They haven't taken a shot yet with this position. But, they've been a lot of hard and aggressive closeouts. And if they're able to attack that, that's going to be really effective for the Sandburg team.
I know a couple times Highland Park has attacked closeouts, but a couple, errant passes haven't really been able to capitalize on that.
Shukla with the ball, passes it back up to Perkins. Back to, that's not Shukla. That was David Vargas. Back to Shukla, and has it now. Back to Perkins. Into the corner, drives baseline, stops, pops, shoots. Good. There we go. Bucket by Ryan McPollen, bring the lead to 4.
And he has 7 of their 11 points so far.
Really good so far. No one else has scored except for Rocky Sagel on this Highland Park team as he gets the ball, as I say that. Back to Ron, back across to Burston. Burston is back in, by the way. So is Bloom. So they go back with their starting lineup here. Highland Park does. Looking in the corner, splits. Doesn't get it. Back to Bloom. Across again. Drives baseline. Goes up with it. Foul. And one opportunity.
And one thing I just noticed is that they had... who's that? Number 5, David Vargas playing at the low man on the 1-3-1. So they were able to drive and then having him, or not? Was it number 5?
They had one. I think it was Mike.
I think it was Mike Perkins as a low man on the 1-3-1, and basically when you're the low man, you're gonna be the rim protector. So they were able to drive and again get an and one opportunity there.
And not only that, I mean, it's, not effective that way as Rocky Sagel converts, as he's going to play pressuring defense on Mike Perkins. But you also play the big man in the center, so it's harder to get down there. And then it's also easier for him for Perkins, when it's a smaller, faster guy, to deflect backdoor cut passes for him rather than a slower-footed, taller person. Ball in the corner here. Back into the short corner now. Back out. Rotate the offense here. You got Shukla open. He gets it now. Pass fake to the right. Actually gives it to Perkin to his right. Perkin going to his left. Crosses back over. Drives. Back to Shukla. No shot. Timeout by Sandburg as they had possession of the ball. Probably good for them because Shukla missed it. And we are going to now have another timeout. That's going to be their 4th timeout of the game. Sorry, I was reading the fouls. That's going to be their first timeout of the game here for Sandburg.
Yeah, and what we just saw from Highland Park is, again, being able to attack closeout, something we didn't really see in last game with Conant. They were just kind of content with just passing the ball around the perimeter. But the couple times Highland Park has really attacked the zone into the gaps, they've created some open looks.
For sure. Yeah, when they've started to attack, it looks like they don't have the biggest lineup, with Ron being one of their tallest players. And, Ron is not the tallest person out there for this team, as he is only 6'4". So that, not a massive team. So you get that with faster players when they are not as big, which allows them to attack, better than a bigger team. Hypothetically, and this team should attack more. As number 40 comes in, that's the first time I've seen him in either of the games here for Highland Park. And number 40 for Highland Park, that's going to be Sean Goodman here playing defense currently. And then now it goes back over to McPollen, up to Bims, who's back in the game. Ty Bims is back. Into the corner for Shukla. 3-point attempt. Good. Splash. There we go. Shukla with his first points of the game.
And I really like that offensive possession by Sandburg. There was a lot of off-ball screens, a ton of off-ball movement, and then again, getting the ball, passing the ball, getting an open look.
Goodman looking for something in the corner, doesn't get it, passes back out. Down to the corner, now he gets an open three, playing a little inside there, and a little aggressive at the top. Foul on Highland Park, allowing the ball to be in the possession of the Sandburg Eagles. Ty Bim's going to throw it in to Vargas here. Passed it back to Bims as they're playing a very aggressive with 3 guys in the front court here, or on not their half of the court, on an aggressive 1-2-1 press.
Yeah, and
timeout again, their second timeout in the past couple of minutes.
And the 1-2-2 it's caused them problems. They've had some issues attacking the trap, and if they're able to consistently implement that by getting baskets, it could cause a little trouble for Sandburg.
Yes, and one thing to think about for Highland Park is that they have the possession arrow currently. So they have the possession, or is either the boards are wrong, as they're both saying different things. The scoreboards on the side say the possession is in favor of Sandburg, while the possession arrow right in front of us says in favor of Highland Park. We're going to go off that one, and if the possession arrow is in favor of Highland Park, especially with that 1-2-1, you don't have to necessarily steal the ball. You could get a jump ball, and it's basically the same thing as a steal there as you get the possession. They're down by 4, by the way. The Giants are to the Eagles, as the Eagles, use their usual straight lineup, play there. Out of bounds play. That's the word. Shukla with the 3 again. Wow. Good again. On fire from 3 so far. Two for 3 so far. That's a pretty good percentage.
Yeah, I mean, second straight 3. If they can really get on fire, 3-point shooting, they can open up this game a lot.
For sure. It's all about confidence from 3-point shooting. I mean, obviously you can be good, but you got to be good and effective with it. But how do you get good and effective? Is you got to have confidence, be able to, jack those threes anytime you get any little space. And then good charge taken there by Prendergast. Good charge taken there as he causes a turnover on behalf of the Highland Park Giants.
Yeah, and 2 straight 3s plus a charge. There's definitely a lot of momentum going on Sandburg's side right now.
For sure. Maybe this aggressive zone is too aggressive. The 3 here from Vargas, no good. Offensive rebound over the top by Prendergast. Gets the ball, kicks out to Shukla. Shukla's going to fake right, drive right, then stop, pass it out, all the way into the corner to Vargas. Back up to McPollen at the top. Drives left, stops. Over to Bims. Sorry, that's Shukla there with the ball. Looking for something. Inside. Good steal there by not by Sage, by Rieger, who's back out there. Over to Zron in the corner. Gonna take it. Gonna miss short. Try and get the rebound. Tips it. What a job there by Sam Ron. Driving baseline there is Splits. Ron should look out to the corner. Doesn't lose the ball. Into the corner now for Bloom. Hesitation on the shot doesn't allow him to get it off. Samron with the ball to reset the offense at the top. Here are Rieger. Rieger with the ball, who came in for Sagel. Sagel's now on the bench. Rieger looking for the basket. Doesn't get it, but looks like a foul here. Yep, foul here. They're going to the bench. Looks like a 90-second mask timeout. As we're coming to our first mask timeout, let's give a little insight. What do you think's going on? What do you think the outcome of this game is? Currently, Sandburg leads Highland Park by 7.
Yeah, I mean, Highland Park, they've been able to get some open looks. They just have not been converting really any of them shooting the ball. So, and again, Sandburg was able to hit the last 2 threes, so shooting has definitely been a big thing. And then again, both really not a ton of transition opportunities at all in the second quarter. It's really been they really slowed the game down, half-court offense, but not really a lot going on. I guess for both teams offensively. But again, seen with like the only a total of 5 team fouls so far, and not a whole ton of attacking, not a whole ton of drawing fouls. And I don't know. What are your takeaways for Highland Park? Really,
I think Highland Park's way more effective when they try driving. Like on the last couple of possessions, they either get a draw and foul because I like, as I said earlier, I like the zone, but I feel like they scramble a bit too much. They scramble to get back, which is really what Highland Park's been doing on defense, which has worked some of the time. But if, about half the time, it's Sandburg gets a good opportunity, they just haven't been able to capitalize on it. I mean, you can't capitalize on every opportunity, but, like, you got to be better than half. I mean, they are in the lead, so they are doing enough. But you want to be more effective. You always want to be more effective because you want to keep this team at bay, at arm's length, so you really don't have a risk of a competitive game later. Here we are, Brandon, right? Yes. Brandon Rieger with the free throw attempt. 2 free throws here. First one. Bricks it off the back of the rim. Trying to bring it within a 2-possession game here. 2 threes, and it would be tied if he makes this. And he doesn't. Good defensive rebound there by McPollin, who passes it up court to Vargas. Vargas gets it back to Bims. Gets their offense sent. As you said there, they weren't really looking for the transition points. They were like, let's set up our offense.
Yeah.
We think we could beat them with our set offense. We don't need to catch them off guard. Good pass fake there by Shukla. Over to Bims. Up to the top again. With all of these teams, here Shukla with the 3-point attempt tries to get the foul there. Hard fall.
And that was a high IQ play by, I don't know who it was, but Sandburg. Again, ball's going out of bounds, and just to tip it off the player, maintaining possession.
Always try and get your hands on the ball because typically good things happen if the ball is not in control of anyone. Out to Shukla, over to McPollin, who shoots a long contested 3. Does not work out for him, a little too strong. Up to Splits, who brings it up. Over to Goodman again. Looking for the skip pass all the way to Rieger. Back up to Splits. Into Ron, into the center. Ron trying to drive, kicks it back out to Rieger. Quick 3. A little too long into the left. Shukla with the rebound, brings it up to Bims. Bims driving, kicked out. A little high, but still caught by McPollin. Faked by Shukla. Aggressive pass there to Vargas, who gets it back to Bims. Into the corner. 3-point attempt here. Off the rim. Good offensive rebound there. Foul. Foul on Vargas. Good offensive rebounding there.
Yeah, I mean, there is no one in the paint there for Highland Park. Vargas was pretty easily able to just get right in there, and the ball just ran into his hands.
Vargas here with the attempt to try and extend the lead from 7 with 1 minute and 32 seconds remaining. Makes it good. Makes good on that as they do a near full rotation switch here as Max Williamson comes in, as well as Jesse Burston, and Sagel comes in as their switches here. And it looks like someone is coming in for the shooter, but he misses, so they don't get to come in yet. Burston with the ball in our side corner. And Splits.
And right now, I mean, someone needs to step up for Highland Park other than Iraq Siegel. He has all 10 of their points right now, and no one has really been able to do anything from them offensively.
I forgot about that. He has all 10 of their points right now, so that means the entire time he was on the bench for nearly 5 minutes in time, I want to say. Airballed 3 there by Max Williamson. Highland Park did not put a point up on the board.
No.
Timeout here, I think. No, just substitution. As in comes number 11, starter James White. He comes in for Vargas. Bims taking his time. Back over.
And it looks like, I think Highland Park's goes to a 1-3-1. Trying to switch it up.
Looks like they're just passing around the perimeter here, possibly just trying to waste time since they're up by 8 going into the half. Or as of right now, if they try and waste enough time, they're going to go into the half that way. Looks like it. Or then Shukla goes out. Yeah, he thinks he was fouled, but that looked like he just lost the ball off his knee, and he did. Aggressive horn here by the scoreboard at York, and is a substitution horn as Ron comes back in for Williamson. Ron brings up the ball. Controlling the pace. Maybe they'll try and take the last shot.
Let's see what they do for this last possession.
The unfortunate thing is that we don't really know because both teams have been really just kind of passing around the perimeter
really
anyways as their offense.
Both zones have kind of really made it tougher.
And stifled all driving lanes. Looks like Sandburg switches to a man.
Yeah.
Out to the corner. Fake floater here off the front of the rim. Short-armed it. And that is the end of the first half, folks. Not the most entertaining half of basketball you'll ever see.
28 points. It's offensively again, not a whole ton going on for both teams, and
this is why both teams, weren't necessarily expected to be here, as in with, Highland Park losing their actual game and Sandburg playing such a tough, or would have been playing such a tough opponent. Not saying they would have automatically lost, but, when you're playing a team that's that good, you're really going to have to be perfect to create an upset there on a good team like Riverside Brookfield. Who would have knows what happened? But, in other words, back to this game. So, as we said, not really the most offensively proficient by either team. You want to see a bit more baskets made, a bit more opportunities taken advantage of, a little bit more risks going on, trying to really push the effort and try and get something going to get a run kick-started for either team, whether to close the gap or to extend the gap to an unreachable amount by Sandburg.
Yeah, I think both defenses are definitely, they're not like really just incredible defense. I think both defenses could be taken advantage of but again, not being able to hit shots. Highland Park has not done a great job getting the ball in the paint. They've settled a lot for early shot clock jumpers, and Sandburg they done a pretty good job defensively, and it's just second half we'll see what adjustments are made, and
Thank you very much for listening to the first half. Please tune in again for the second half of this game between the Highland Park Giants and the Sandburg Eagles. See you guys in about 8 minutes and 20 seconds. And we are back after a quick halftime, 10-minute halftimes we have here at the Jack Tosh Holiday Classic. About 26 seconds left on this halftime. Once again, I think this is the first time in the tournament I've ever seen this. And first time I've ever seen this in high school basketball, college, any level of basketball besides like Pee-wee, is that one kid scores all the points. He's older than me, so I shouldn't really say kid, but one person, one player scores all the points for one team in a half.
Yeah. I mean, right now, I mean, Rock Siegel, whether it's been catch and shoot or getting to the rim, he's been really doing everything offensively. And it's interesting because if we can see Sam Ron do a little more, and because he is a very talented offensive player. So
for sure. As well as, looks like we have Rieger. They go into a 1-3-1. The Giants do. And then we see Rieger down there and Burston on the bench. That's the only difference in starters. I think everyone else is just their starters. So Nwoko is back out. Or Nwoko, sorry.
There we go.
Nkwo is out. There we go. My brain worked properly. Back out to, that is 11. That's James White. And then with the ball now is Ty Bims, probably going to call a jump ball there. Ref does. Possession arrow is in favor of the Giants.
Yeah, and Brandon Rieger's done a good job defensively today. He's really just kind of been like basically been their bulldog for them. Getting loose balls and just forcing the jump ball there.
Walter Davis on the top of this zone. Looks like another 1-3-1, just much more compressed. Much more compressed 1-3-1, staying below the three-point line rather than going all the way out to half court. Once again, looks like Highlands Park favorite activity is going to continue, and that's passing the ball around the three-point line.
See, again, first half, not really a whole ton, really offensively for both teams.
Trying to keep that streak going is Sagel. Is not able to, a little too strong on the three-point attempt. Playing hard defense here on Bims. Foul. Travel on Bims. So it's going to be Highland Park's ball again. And as we were saying about Rocky Sagel having all the points, typically when you hear that, you know, the person's going off, right?
Yeah.
You know, having 20 to 25 points. But in this case, not. It's been a low-scoring game. And also, whenever it's like a game where you think that it's been bad offensively for one team with one player scoring and them not really going off, you think of last game with Conant, you know, only putting up, I think it was 4 points in the first half and being down like 13. Aggressive jump there by Nkwo, and then, they call the foul on him as Gabe Splits comes up to the line. And, you know, as I was saying, first basket, first basket by another player not named Rocky Sagel, and Gabe Splits. Splits about to try to convert and one opportunity. And as I was saying is that, like, you know, they're still in this game. They're down by 6.
Oh, yeah.
And now they're down by 5.
Yeah, and that was good offensive possession by Highland Park is they got into the middle, again, putting pressure, attacking that zone, and just finding the low man and converting for the and one. And again, this pressure is really just really disturbing Sandburg. So if they can really just kind of like
Davis with
put the pressure, and another play, again, getting in the middle and finding the low man.
Yeah, especially with these 1-3-1s, that's the thing. That's why people, you know, decide. That's why instead of everyone doing the 1-3-1, is that if you're able to get a backdoor cut or the low man there, if you're able to get it to him, that's quite the easy layup. Unless it's like Rudy Gobert down there or someone, you know, that's quite the easy layup for them. And so they're going to keep consistently trying to do that. Is James White with the ball, resets back at the top. Back to Walter Davis.
And that's the thing. No one is really. There you go. Someone flashes middle.
There we go. And down low for Nkwo. Gets up.
That
bigger
entire
man
possession.
than everyone else.
No one was getting in the middle. No one flashing middle. Then when someone does, it was wide open. There was no one within 2 feet beneath him. And then again, that is really the best way to attack these zones.
The big man Nkwo listed here at 6'5", might be his hair, but I think he's a little taller because they list Sam Ron at 6'4", and Nkwo's, I think, a good couple inches taller. So the big man's able to convert there. Great steal there. Good read by James White as he brings up the ball. He's going to stop, look into the corner. McPollin with the 3. Good. Some deep shooting here as they take a 10-point lead, 23-13 here for the Sandburg Eagles.
Yeah.
Gives it back to Splits. Ron had it first. They're going to give it back to Ron. Into the corner. Rieger driving. Back to the center. Back out to Splits. 3-point attempt. Good. Going to cut the lead down to 7.
Again, I'm really liking, again, first half offenses were not effective at all. And this has been a great job for both teams. They've been attacking the gaps.
James White with the 3.
Another 3. So it looks like they both stepped up. And this is already a 10-point lead.
It's almost like when you actually start to attack the basket and attack the middle of the paint, you open up opportunities on the 3-point line and other places in the basketball court. When you're just tossing around the 3-point line, there's really nothing because the defense doesn't have to shift too much or be too aggressive, so they're able to cover all the holes that they have. As you know, as we've seen, there's been more points scored here than in the entire first quarter, and there's only been 4 minutes. We're only halfway through the third quarter. 3-point again from James White. Thinks he's got it, walking away from the basket. Great offensive rebound here by McPollin. No shot. Foul on the floor on Rieger.
Yeah, and my point still stands that, as I was saying at halftime, that both defenses were vulnerable and could be attacked. And as you've seen in the first half of this quarter, how many points do we have combined?
So far, I think we've had 6 plus 8, which, if you were to do basic math, that's 14.
14, yeah.
14. If I count on my fingers properly, I think that's 14, and which was way more than the first quarter. I think the first quarter was combined maybe less than 10, or I think it was like 10 to 4, 10 to 6.
Yeah, but already half the points scored in the first half in just these first 4 minutes.
Exactly. So, you know, a much more entertaining game it's turned into with, you know, more cutting and more action, more actually trying to get an easier shot instead of just looking for an opening and standing with the ball and, you know, over your head just looking, pass faking.
Yeah.
You know, if you really want to, you got to do, I forget the player, but what they did last game where they had the most aggressive pass fake I've ever seen, where they just went full force all the way back forwards.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that's the only way pass fakes are really, you know, opportunistic and really create opportunities here. And, you know, they haven't been doing that, but it's been better. And hopefully, you know, Highland Park can come back and make it competitive. So then not only is it a more entertaining game, but it also is a closer game where these two teams are fighting punch for punch, pound for pound, trying to get to that next round of the prestigious Jack Tosh Holiday Classic.
All right, looks like they're having, for the inbounds play, a stack at the elbow.
Burston back in, this time for
Going for the lob.
Nikwo going up with it. Gets his own rebound. Doesn't.
But
foul over the back. I think he just met him at the top. But, you know, the refs are the ones reffing the game. So a timeout, substitution. Out comes Nikwo. In comes Prendergast to replace him.
But I did like the possessions where they had him involved in the offense. They're getting him ball in the paint. And even though, again, it was a missed shot, that's a look you like.
For sure. Burson with the ball. Over to Rieger. Down to Ron. Looking center. A double screen on Walter Davis there. Interesting maneuver. Into the corner. Wide open. Jesse Burston. Good. Converts it. It's one thing that's really impressed me about all the teams in this tournament is that all the players are hitting, not all of them, but, you know, a lot of the players are hitting a lot of their open looks, a lot more than I was expecting from high school players.
Yeah, especially this half, both offenses. Again, getting in the middle. And that was a great read by Ron. Stealing that pass, looking to get to the low man.
Fast break here. Rieger kicked out to Burston. Back to the corner. Great play there. Sagel off the front of the rim. Burston with the offensive rebound right in front of Ron. Resetting at Rieger. Ron has it now. Standing still. Nice little pass fake there. Burston with the ball. Dribbles right. Back to Ron. Into the corner for Sagel. Fakes baseline, goes inside, stops, passes back up to Ron. Ron driving, out to Splits. Splits goes up, stops, out again. Burston misses. Ron, offensive rebound?
Yes.
No, it was Splits who gets it. Ron saves it from nearly being stolen there by McPollin. Ron with it back up. Sagel with it. Up to Rieger. Down to Ron. Ron passes it inside to Splits.
Pass.
Splits, pump fakes out. And goes baseline. Gets fouled. 2 shots here for Gabe Splits.
And again, moving the ball, finding the guy in the paint, and you got 2 free throws. So again, this Highland Park offense is looking much better, almost doubling their points in the first 6 minutes.
This Highland Park offense choosing not to try and get an offensive rebound on this first one. Granted, they can't really, so now they're going to go down.
That makes sense.
Makes sense. I mean, why try if you can't do it? They go down here. Ron and Burston on the attempt. Mike Perkins comes in. To the bench goes Davis.
Wow, 2 missed free throws. And
Good rebound there.
Even though there hasn't been a ton of free throws this game, both teams have not been really able to capitalize on the times they've gotten there.
Another new player there, David Vargas, misses the 3. So does Ohms Shukla, comes back in as well. No changes for the Giants. Ron driving, out to splits. Into the corner for Rieger. Rieger wanted it all the time. A little too strong.
Yeah, and Highland Park has been consistently able to get that open corner 3 through the 1-3-1.
Down to the baseline, out to Shukla. Back over to McPollin. Shoots it. No good. And then looks like off Sandburg. Looked like to me it went off Rieger.
Yeah, it looked like it went off
Highland
Rieger.
Park. Substitution here. Off comes Burston. On comes Bloom. Here come the Giants. Samron. Funnily enough, their tallest player, also their main ball handler. So kind of the opposite of 2 teams we've talked of the team that we covered last game that won. That was Lyons Township, who played a bunch of guys at 6'5", 6'6". This team playing no one at 6'5", 6'6", is the 2 tallest players being 6'4" here. Ron drives baseline, kicks out to Sajel. Sajel back down to him. Good feed there. Find, feed, finish.
Yep.
Great example of that there with 1 minute remaining in this third quarter as they are down by 5. Pushing the effort is Sandburg. Shukla wanted it, didn't get it. Good rebound there, getting it even though the taller Prendergast was behind him. Sajel here drives, goes up with it. A little too strong. Off of Bloom and is going to be Sandburg Eagles ball.
Again, but I'm liking with Highland Park. They're attacking the gaps, and a lot of their points right now have been coming from them driving in the paint, which they didn't really do at all in the first half.
Prendergast with the ball. Helps being that tall as you're able to throw it over the majority of people who are trying to steal it from you in that case.
Good job
with
breaking
it.
the
Good
press.
feed to Shukla. Shukla takes another hard fall, his second of the evening. Gets up, though, all okay. That's what we want. Everyone to be safe, healthy, non-injured. All good. Knock on wood. Shukla was fouled on that attempt. Going to do a couple free throws. Hits 1. Extends it to 6-point lead. In comes... Looks like Sean Goodman comes in again. Out goes Bloom. Going extra short now with only 1 player taller than 6'2". Made the second one. Shukla showing that he is quite the good shooter, making 2 threes early and then hitting both his free throws there. 15 seconds remaining in the quarter. 7-point lead for Sandburg. Brings up the ball. Passes it left. Sajel drives, going to look to the corner to Goodman. Goodman stops, stripped away from McPollin. McPollin's going to try and do a half-court heave.
Oh.
No good. Left and short for him. No good. Final score of the third quarter through 3 quarters. Not obviously the total final score, but through 3 quarters, 28-21 in the favor of Sandburg. Now, there was 10 points scored by Sandburg there in the first quarter, which is more than half that they scored the first half, and 11 points scored by Highland Park, which shows that they scored more points in that quarter alone than they did the entire first half. And guess what they changed? They attacked more.
Attacked. And as well, I mean, Sandburg's offense has done a good job. I mean, Vargas hit in a couple threes in the third quarter. It's definitely helping them still maintain a 7-point lead. And yeah, a much better offensive performance from both teams. And it's still been a pretty slow-paced game. again, both of them really trying to make sure they get a good look, passing around the zones, not a whole lot of transition opportunities.
For sure. Here, you know, and they were able to keep up with the more effective Highland Park offense by keeping a 7-point lead. We're going to the half. It was an 8-point lead. So, you know, it is 1 point, but not that big of a difference in the grand scheme of, or could make that big of a difference in the grand scheme of things, but in the micro, right here, right now, not that big of a difference. You know, still 3 possessions. They still have to make 3 baskets for them to tie the game or take the lead. Highland Park, by the way, in the blue jerseys, and then Sandburg with the white jerseys, the yellow lettering, and the blue stripe down the side. What's going on here? It's a little stopping and play.
Looks like, it was Highland Park's ball, but
now they're giving it to Sandburg.
Well, looks like a little mess up of the possession arrow.
Number 2, which would be right in front of us, Mr. Ryan McPollan, leading the Sandburg Eagles in scoring with 10. Only player in double digits. 3-point attempt here from Shukla, a little short. A lot of contesting there.
Looks like Highland Park's going to be back in their 1-2-2.
Sagel back. 24 taking the 3. 24 Darren Gussis here for first minutes of the game here for the Highland Park Giants. His bucket here. And then coming back in is Bloom. So new player in Gussis, and coming back in is Bloom. Ron with the ball still. Over to Gussis. Finding Bloom. Looking for Ron. Swinging those elbows aggressively. Going into the paint. Sagel has it. Going to retreat. Pass it back past the volleyball line. 9-point lead now for the Sandburg Eagles. Ron has the ball. Over to Sagel. Sagel, once again, the hesitation from this Giants team to shoot from 3. I mean, we both don't really like their strategy of throwing it around the 3-point line, but there has been some opportunities for them to convert on them, and their hesitation in them has not led to anything happening. As here is Gussis, air ball for his first 3-point attempt, I want to say. Good steal there, though, to recover from his mistake earlier. And back out to Splits, who's going to fake and drive. Gus is going to shoot it again. This time drains it for the 2-pointer to make the lead 7.
Yeah, and they've been able to generate open looks. Again, a couple wide open corner 3s in that mid-range there. So doing a much better job attacking this Sandburg 1-3-1.
Great,
and the pressure forces another turnover. And Highland Park is looking to get that, make this a 2-possession game.
Ron going baseline, poked out by Shukla from behind. Coming in is the 2 starters, White and Brims. Going to the bench is Perkins and Vargas. Sagel, the only one going out, and Rieger replacing him for the Giants. Throws it up to Gussis, who gives it to Rieger, as they are still down by 7. 5 minutes and 50 seconds remaining in the game. Ron with it. Up to Bloom, to Ron. Ron looking. Resetting the offense on the logo. Gonna drive to the wing. Over to Rieger for the 3. No good. Good effort here by Splits, who's able to get the rebound over the much taller player and then throws it away. Effort is wasted there, but still, good effort you want to see from that. From Splits there. Unfortunate that the turnover happened. Here comes Sagel again. Most likely going to bring out Gussis. He is. Coming in as well as Burston for Ron. They're going to give Ron a rest. 5 minutes remaining. The stack inbound for Sandburg. Good tip there from behind by Splits.
And timeout called.
Timeout as he was getting trapped. No, we're good, thank you.
Yeah, and this Highland Park defense, again, they've gone back to their 1-2-2, and again, when they're applying pressure, Sandburg has not been able to handle it. That's forced two turnovers, a timeout call, and also offensively, they're really working on screening the low man, which is really allowing wide open shots on the corner and really not allowing Sandburg to rotate to those spots.
For sure, great job there by the Highland Park defense. They're really stifling the Sandburg offense so far of what we've seen.
Yeah.
Still a 7-point lead, though, so they aren't really able to convert on the defensive prowess that they've had so far.
Yeah.
It looks like it's going to be a couple of possessions down the stretch. Highland Park's going to really want to try and, reel this team back in, because they got out to an early lead and it's really been even since. So they've been playing even. They now got to start playing a little better than Sandburg to make up for them playing worse at the beginning. Looks like it's going to be Sandburg's ball here, I'm pretty sure. They're probably going to bring out their stack. If it is them, it is.
Yeah.
And guess what? There's a stack.
There's a stack.
There is a stack.
We do see the stack.
It's not a smoke stack. It's a stack inbound play.
It is a stack inbound play, which feels a little unnecessary considering that
this is high school, and typically you see that in the
just
lower levels. But,
and again,
they're winning
this
the
Highland
game.
Park defense, another deflection. They're really.
That's 3 or 4. The Sandburg coach is not happy, despite the lead. He's not happy. Stack again.
Yep, they love the stack.
They do. One of their favorite plays, just like Highland Park was, passing around the three-point line. Nearly tipped there by Sagel. Get it to, another one.
Another tip ball.
And then stolen by Rieger. Going up with it is Sagel. Gets it. Makes it a 5-point game. First time within 2 possessions in a long time. They're going to keep the pressure on.
And it really makes me wonder, why did they go away from this 1-2-2?
I think it's conditioning. I mean, I'm not, trying to knock any of these guys. There's a bucket there by Ty Bims to make it back to a 7-point lead. Not trying to knock any of these guys, but none of them are your superstar athletes, and they can't really do an aggressive 1-2-1 the entire time. Travel there. We just got news from our lead man. It seems like the 6:30 game between St. Francis and Bolingbrook, unfortunately, is not going to have any announcers. As James White here with the 3. We wish there was. Unfortunately, I cannot be here. So, unless we somehow find a way to get another announcer here in time, then or teleport me. That's another option from our producer, Jack Borchers. Thank you for running this all, by the way. Big tech guy, runs all of it. Anyways, it will not be announced. Is still going to be a great game. 2 amazing teams.
Should be one of the best games of the day.
Going to be one of the best games of the day. That's why it's so sad that we're not going to have an announcer, but it's going to be an amazing, amazing game. So please still tune in for that. Maybe you guys have some music going, a podcast to listen to while the game is going on, but please still watch it. It's going to be a great game as Splits gives it here to Sagel, I want to say. Sagel knocks down the 3. That's going to be all the way down to a 4-point game now.
And that's his 15th-point thing game. And these last 2 possessions, Sandburg has done a much better job breaking this trap. And we see that having, in the last 2 possessions, 4 points, 2 of them being layups and a wide-open 3.
For sure. That's the issue with this 1-2-1, or 1-2-2, is that they're not able to really recover whenever they get it down court. They haven't been recovering well, as you said. Splits here with the jumper, hits it. It's now a 4-point game again. And then there will still be announcers for both the Glenbard West versus Leo, not Glenbard West versus Leo, Glenbard West St. Patrick game and the York versus, I want to say, Andrew. The York versus Andrew game is still going to be going on as Bloom takes the ball down the court. Gets it to Sagel. Sagel goes up with it and hits it. 2-point game now. One possession game. Look at that.
In transition, again, these offenses have really just vastly improved since that first half.
Ty Brems with the ball. Goes into McPollin. McPollin's jumper. Little short. Offensive rebound attempt by Prendergast. Prendergast getting back on defense.
And Highland Park can either not only they could tie it up, but possibly take the lead here.
Looks like they're going to attempt to take the lead. Does not get it. Good rebound there by Prendergast. Still a 2-point game. 2:20 remaining in the game. Once again, driving by Brims. Brims gets it up. Short arms it a little bit, unfortunately. Splits bringing the ball. Rieger to Sajel. Sajel, 3. No good. Rebound by Shukla.
And you might
over to McPollin. No good.
And I think both these teams are really, again, these last couple of minutes of the fourth quarter has been at a much higher tempo. Again, both teams taking really fast, really fast, quick shots, not high quality, and you see that with the timeout called. And hey, 2-point game. This is the closest it's been since the very first couple of minutes of the first quarter.
For sure. And we, as they are taking mass break, we are going to take a little break. We will be back in about 70 seconds. We are back after that little timeout. The mass break timeout presented by IHSA. I guess it's ran by IHSA, not really presented, as they kind of own, this is kind of the league.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like saying, this timeout presented by the NBA during an NBA game. That's the league. Rieger with the ball anyways. Rieger with the ball on the wing now. Pivoting. Gets it into Bloom. They wanted to get Ron back in during that timeout, and he does. Looks like James White comes back. Shukla is on the defense there as well. Sajel with the ball. Still down 2.
And it looks like this possession, again, they're really trying to slow the game down here, just kind of moving the ball until they can find open shot and a little cut there.
Great block by Shukla. Throw it off the backboard there.
I like the cut in the pass, but just really not a hole. And
great
Ron
defense there by
and
Ron. Trying to get really aggressive there and get to it. Trying to move Shukla out of the way. Doesn't get there in time. 1 minute remaining on the clock. If I'm Sandburg, I'm trying my hardest to keep the ball in my possession. You're up by 2. Try and get the best shot possible.
I mean, you're not even trying to shoot at this point. But then again,
surprised how conservative Highland Park is coming out. This is now they start to get more aggressive.
Yeah. And they're
Ty
able to break
Brims
the
goes
zone.
towards. 3-point attempt here by Shukla.
No
good. Rebound by Bloom. Gives it to Ron. Ron's pushing the effort. Gives it up to Sajel. Easy bucket
and we got
for the tie.
Game.
Tie game. 40 seconds remaining. They're going to slow it down here. Brims probably going to look for the last shot. Prendergast with it. Throws it back to Brims. Brims has it.
34.
Tie game. White with it. Getting trapped. Brims with it. Back up to Mr. McPollin. Fake pass to McPollin with the fake pass.
Now let's see. Are they going to try to get the ball into the middle? What are they going to do this last possession?
Foul.
Oh, foul.
Surprised by that.
But
not really. They have fouls to give.
Yeah, they have another 2 more fouls to give, so they're in a very comfortable position right now if they do want to be aggressive.
Stack here again.
The stack makes a little sense here.
They changed the player who goes back instead of Brims, who it is normally. Back goes McPollin, who has the ball in his hands. Driving inside, floater.
It's
good
for
the game. Timeout.
Timeout.
Most likely going to put a little bit more time on the clock. Probably going to be around 1.8 seconds, it looks like. It's 0.7, it says right now. Are they going to change it?
And Ryan McPollin.
What a shot, Ryan
McPollin. Clutch. The floater. Is that maybe the first floater we've seen today, or this game? And that came up huge.
Massive floater there. Really helps him out.
And 2 seconds left. Wow.
12th point. Wow. 2 seconds flat on the clock, it looks like. 36-34 lead. Highland Park, they're probably going to take their time with this timeout, as I don't know if they're going to be able to get it in, as Bolingbrook and St. Francis are waiting on the sidelines, coming in to warm up.
And can we see some Conant magic again for the Jack Tosh? With possibly.
Again. I mean, that was close enough to a game winner. It just wasn't a buzzer beater. So great job there by Ryan McPollin. Once again, got to say the name again. What a play by him. Great night. 12 points. 12 points for him. No fouls committed. Good night for him. Once again, as we said probably the whole time, low-scoring game.
Low scoring.
Both under 40. Unless they're able to get this to overtime, it looks like. And we're going to finish with an under 80 over-under. It's going to be under 80 as the final score.
But
total.
again, the main thing for Highland Park, this is not the NBA. So you got to inbound after the timeout. You still got to inbound at the ball
from the baseline.
Yes.
They're going to try and get that. That's going to be super hard.
And they call another timeout.
Sandburg calls the timeout. You can't call back-to-back timeouts.
Yeah, I don't know how.
You can't. If no game's played, you can't do timeout and then timeout again.
I guess they just.
Sandburg called it.
Oh, wait. No, I think Highland Park called a timeout.
Initially.
Yeah, as long as you don't, not the same team twice, you can do it, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, so for this play, again, you're doing this 2 seconds on the clock. Many times you've practiced this in practice. This is probably maybe one of the only times they have to use whatever inbound play they've drawn up. And it's the time. It's the time shot. Again, more than likely, you're not going to get a wide open shot. It's going to be a tough, contested three-pointer. So who is the guy you want to get? You want to get the ball in their hands.
Today, if you look at the scoreboard, now you guys can't, but if you look at the scoreboard, number 12, and that is, if I check my notes properly, Rocky Sagel said his name a lot today.
Yeah, we have said a lot.
Rocky Sagel with 19 points. I think you go with the hot hand today, and you get it to him. Trust him. It looks like Gabe Splits is going to inbound the ball. Their lineup is going to be starters, except Burston's on the bench, and they have Brendan Rieger there. They give it to Rieger. Rieger goes up, half-court heave. Oh, so close. A little bit left, a little bit short. Isn't able to get it. Thank you guys for watching. Our apologies for no announcers next game. We're going to try and get some. A little bit understaffed here at the Tosh. When you try and do all 60-something games, and during winter break. If you're a York student, next year, if you want to help us out here at the Tosh, all are welcome to join YSN. We'd really appreciate the extra hands. Could always use it. So thank you all for watching, and tune in about 15 minutes for the game for Bolingbrook against St. Francis. Thank you all for listening.